Good morning, and it's science time. So for science today, what we're going to do is we are going to watch our plant life cycle and the parts of a plant again, and then we are going to look at our graphic organizer. Let me check one thing while I'm on the share screen. To make sure that everything is okay. So, and I'm going to turn it down some so that it's not so loud for you all. Okay, so the plant life cycle is first, and then we're going to look at parts of a plant, and then we're going to look at our graphic organizer, and I'll show you something else that I've done for you, and hopefully this helps some of our
What's wrong, Moby? Of course it's not growing yet. It takes time for a seed to grow into a plant. How does a seed grow? Most plants start growing from a seed. The seed is protected by a covering called a seed coat. Inside there is a part that can grow into a new plant. Most seeds need soil, water, and warmth to grow. Moby. A small root starts to grow down, and a sprout grows up out of the ground. But what happens after the seed sprouts? The sprout uses sunlight, water, and nutrients from the soil to grow. And soon it becomes a seedling. Seedlings are small and thin and have just a few leaves. As it grows bigger, it turns into a young adult plant. It's much taller and has more leaves. And then it grows into an adult plant. It'll take this seedling years to become an adult apple tree. Good question, Moby. What is an adult plant like? This orchard is filled with adult plants. They're really tall and have lots of leaves. Right, adult trees grow flowers, and flowers have an important job to do. They attract insects, birds, or even bats to help carry pollen. The pollen helps plants grow seeds. And fruit grows around the seeds to protect them. When fruit ripens and falls to the ground, the seeds inside can grow new plants. Hey, where'd that deer go with that apple? How do seeds spread to new places? I bet that deer is helping plants. Well, when animals eat fruit, they leave the seeds behind in a different place. And then the life cycle can start all over again. A life cycle shows how a living thing grows and changes during its life. Hey, I bet the wind can move seeds too. Some seeds have little tufts of hair or wings to fly to new places. Water can carry seeds to new places too. Anyway, Moby, it's going to be a while before that plant can make its own seeds. Whoa!
Okay, so let's stop our share for a second. Okay, so as we saw, the plant life cycle, it starts as a seed, because I know Zayden's having a little bit of trouble of understanding what a plant needs to grow. It does need the seed, because it starts with the seed. And so once you plant the seed, then what it needs to continue growing, Zayden, is it needs that sunlight, it needs water, it needs nutrients from the soil, it needs air, it needs space so that it can continue to grow. When you put the seed is the first part of the life cycle. That's actually part of the plant, okay? The seed is actually a part of the plant, and you do need it to start a plant. But when I ask what does it need to grow, I'm thinking of those things. We're thinking and talking about those things like the sun, air, water, soil, nutrients, and space. That's what we're looking at. And remember, we watched that video yesterday, what is a plant? And I will add that video into this Zoom lesson, but I will put it at the end just so you can see it again. So let's go back in and let's look at our other video. So I'm just gonna click back on plants. And parents, if you go into
Parts of a plant.
If you go into Clever, like when you're logging in for Dreambox and Lexia, and you click into our page, click the owl, and they know how to do that, then Brain Pop is in there. And a lot of these videos are in here along with quizzes and other things, as you can see, that they can do. Okay, so parts of a plant.
Moby, what are you doing? But that's not the right way. The roots go in the soil, not the flowers and the leaves. You know, the roots. They're the part of the plant that, what do roots do anyway? Look, that tree has really big roots. Well, the roots are the part that grow down into the soil, but I'm not exactly sure what they do. Wow, without roots, this tree would have been blown away. They do a good job of holding a plant into the dirt. I know plants need water to grow. And water goes down into the soil. I bet the roots take in water from the soil. And soil is full of all kinds of stuff. I bet it's really nutritious for the plant. The roots must absorb the nutrients and send them up the stem. So, what does the stem do?
Let's pause for 1 second because I heard a vocabulary word that I want you to know. Absorb. Remember we talked about the word absorb? What does absorb mean? Absorb means to soak in. So when you think of the word absorb, think of like a sponge. And when you use a sponge, when you put it down on something, it soaks all of that up. So the roots are like a sponge and they soak up all the water and nutrients into the plant.
Water and nutrients go through the stem to reach the rest of the plant. I know it's a trunk, but it's also the stem. Stems can come in all different sizes, but they both help support the plant. And the stem helps the plant reach sunlight.
So the word support means to hold up. Support means to hold up.
What do leaves do? I know, it looks sick. The leaves are falling off. You're right. That plant looks a lot healthier. Look how big and green the leaves are. It must get a lot of sunlight and fresh air. Leaves need to take in sunlight and air to make food for the plant. So then the plant can grow up to be strong and healthy. But these plants don't have flowers like the ones in our garden. What do flowers do? I know that flowers are important parts of some plants. Flowers make a sticky powder called pollen, which helps them make new plants. Look, there's a seed at the end of this petal. I guess flowers help the plant make seeds and fruit. But what do seeds and fruit do? There are so many seeds in this watermelon. Seeds are important because they can grow into new plants. Well, since seeds are inside the fruit, I bet the fruit protects the seeds. And fruit is really tasty. When animals eat fruit, the seeds pass through them and end up in a different place. We should go plant these seeds and grow new plants. Then we can have all the watermelon we want. You swallowed a seed? Don't worry, a watermelon plant isn't going to grow inside you. That's not how it works.
Okay, and so if you look here, and I just want to show you this real quick, you could replay the movie, you can take a quiz, you can make a map, and then there's some other things on the bottom that you can do that go along with that video. Okay, so there are lots of things that you can be working on at home or when you have a break weekend if you're looking for something to do. Okay, so let's close out of BrainPop. And I hope you all can still hear me. And I'm gonna go ahead and close this screen also because we do not need that screen. Okay, and so let's look at our Google slide. Okay, so what I did was I created a Google slide for you. And so this is what we were working on yesterday. And remember, we filled in the needs part and you told me what plants need. And we said, Faith and Zayden helped me do this, and Emily, so plants need soil, they need sun, they need water, they need food, they need air, okay? And then last night on Zoom, when I was showing this to Zayden, he and I worked on what plants can do. Plants can grow, they can provide food, they can make their own food. What else can plants do? So if you come up with some other things that plants can do, and I'm just going to exit out of this really quick, and I want to show you something. If you have it in edit mode, if you open up the Google slide, and I will show you where this is, and I'll put the link into Dojo as well. If you open up the slide, you can type in this. And so I can make the font smaller so that I could add, and that's like really tiny, and Ms. Burns cannot see that. So we're gonna make it a little bigger. You can make the font, you can change the font to add more things. What else can plants do? And I also made a copy of this for everybody. And I'm gonna show you where that is because I'm trying to think of other ways to get you engaged because I get some people are having trouble logging into Dojo, and even though I've done the videos and I've showed you how to log into it, I'm still not getting the work uploaded. So I'm going to give you another platform that you can use to upload things, and in this platform, instead of printing and writing out, I can make the document digital and you can type in it. So what can plants do? And if we listen to Annie and Moby talk about plants and what they could do, we learned that plants can do some other things. And Zayden told me they can grow, they provide food, they make their own food. What else can they do? Think about some other things that plants can do. What else can plants do? And so I'm going to see what things you come up with, what other things you come up with that plants can do. Okay? And so we're gonna add those things in there. And then tomorrow we'll talk about what plants have. And I know you know some of the things that plants have. And so you could add those things in there. And then on Thursday, we're gonna talk about what plants are. And then Friday, we're gonna put it all together. And I'm gonna show you how to use your graphic organizer like we were doing in the classroom. We were making a graphic organizer of the things that we like and the things that we can see. And then we use that graphic organizer to write. And so this is the same way. We're going to use this graphic organizer to help us write. Okay, so that's going to be part of our writing lesson. Okay, and so I will add this document I'll add the link, or I could even share it with you in your email, and then you can type on it that way. That's another way that I could do that for you. And I'm trying to think of a million ways to get you to do this without having to print. And so this way you can also do it on your phone, because you can get the Google app, you can get the Google Slides app, and those things are free, and you could do it that way. Okay, so let's look at the other thing that I've done for science. Well, 1 minute. And like I said, I'll put the other video on at the end. Okay, so I'm gonna stop my share for a second. And I do not put plants in soil at home because I have Jackson Rob, my cat, and soil is something that he could dig in, and I don't want soil all over the floor. So a lot of the plants that I have right now, they are just in glasses, and like this one needs to be moved, and my plan was to plant this in our garden at school, to bring it back to school and plant it in our garden, and I never got a chance to do that. And so as you can see, remember the sweet potatoes that we had for Thanksgiving? Well, these two were left because they were small. I didn't cut them up and put them in our pies. So as you can see, what I did was I put a little bit of water in the bottom, and I've been changing the water. So like right now, this water is kind of icky. So what I do is I take it out of the water and I use cold water, and I rinse the roots off and I clean them. And then I put new water into the cup. And as you could see, the water was all the way up there. And so they've been drinking the water, and now it's all the way down there. And what I like about doing it this way is it's easy for you to see the parts of the plant. Because as you know, the sweet potatoes grow underground. So these are the roots of the plant. And on here, when I started them, these roots made new roots. And so now those are growing down in there, and they're not gonna make new potatoes because it doesn't have enough what? What did we say that plants need in order to grow big and strong and to do exactly what it's supposed to do? You're right, it doesn't have enough space for it to grow more potatoes. So in order for me to get it to grow more potatoes, what do I need to do? Right, I need to take it out of this glass, and I need to plant it, and I need to plant it. But for right now, it's living in this glass, and I make sure I put it in a spot where it gets enough light. And as you can see, it's growing straight up. So that means it has light directly overhead, because what plants do, and I want you to try it if you have a plant at home. Take a plant that's already growing and put it someplace and move it around the room according to where the sun is. So if the sun is on this side of you, or the light is on this side of you, I want you to watch and see what that plant does. And then when the sun moves onto this side, or you could even put it in your yard, I want you to watch and see what that plant does. And then tell me what happened to that plant when you moved it around the room. This one stays in my kitchen and the light is directly overhead. So what is the plant doing? Right? What is it doing? Okay, and then this one, I've had this one for a while. And as you can see, if I lift it up out of here, and I love these plants because I can take a piece of it off and it will grow. And as you can see, it's like 2 pieces in here. And this one has already started growing too, so it's down in the cup and it hasn't gotten as tall as this one yet. But you could also see the little buds on here where new leaves are going to shoot out of this. And just like I do with that one, I clean it out and I make sure that I have enough water in there so that, and I clean the roots off and get them all clean, and I put them back in the water. And so they start to grow. And when I got this, it was pretty short because it didn't have all of these roots on there. It was just this part. So the water was all the way up here so that it could just sit in the water. And as it grows, the roots get longer and longer and longer. And this is one that I also need to plant. And this could be a hanging plant. So I would put it up in the air, and then that way Jackson really couldn't get in it and dig it up. So that's why those do not have soil in them. Okay, but they need some soil in them. Okay, so now let me show you what I've done. And I put it in the other video, but I'm going to put it into this one also. So I'm gonna go into my, and I'm doing it this way just because I can get to what I need faster this way. So when I go into my Gmail, and parents, if you're looking for this and you have Gmail, this is how I get there faster. If you go into your Gmail and you click these little boxes, the Google Classroom is in there, and all you have to do is set it up if you have Gmail. And this is not mandatory for kindergarten because we are using Dojo, and that is my go-to for everything, Class Dojo. But for those parents that want to put things in, and this is easier for you because you have older kids like 2nd through 5th grade, well, 1st through 5th grade, I know they have a Google Classroom, then you can go in here and find, I put one in here for KA, okay? So KA has a Google Classroom, and so if you're in there for your 1st through 5th grader and you just want to stay in here and you want to put things in for kindergarten, you can add documents in here for them as well, okay? Just make sure you put their name on it because I did not put their names in, okay? It would be under, it would be your name because I sent the invite to your email. So you just add yourself in, and then you could put their work in if you want. And I see that three people have looked at their email and they added themselves in. So what I did in here is the document that I just went over for science. It is in here, and I made a copy for each student so that they can so that you can type on it yourself. And like I said, I'll put the link in our science so that you could open it up and you can still type on it. So what you can do is you can upload it in here or in Class Dojo. That's fine with me. I check all of these things daily. So this is one thing that you can look at and do. And as you can see, it's in here. And it says complete 1 box a day. The first one has been done for you. And so if you click in here, you can edit. I could edit the assignment. I already made a copy for each student, and you can edit it. And so if you look over here, you can add or create once you open it up. So that's another platform for you to use if you would like to use that platform instead of, if you want to use that and Dojo, that's fine. But Dojo is where I go first. Okay. All right. So now the final video that I'm going to add into our science, just as a closeout, what is a plant? And I'm going to go back into our page. And as you can see, I'm in Clever, where your child will be. And if we're looking over here to the right, I can see who's logged in to Dreambox and Lexi, or who's logged into Clever. We've got 3 people logged in. And I'm going to go into Scholastic. And these are all things that you can work in. As a matter of fact, I'll put a link in there for the Google Classroom also. And so what we're going to look at, and Zayden and I watched this video last night, because he did join me for the 6:30 Zoom. And now this video is 3 minutes long. And so I'm going to let that play.
You ready? Let's go!
What are plants? This is a plant. It is a tiny duckweed plant. This is a plant too. It is a giant sequoia tree that reaches high into the sky. There are hundreds of thousands of kinds of plants, from spiky cactuses to colorful tulips, big or small, prickly or pretty. All plants are living things, and like all living things, plants grow. Watch this plant seed grow into a plant. The roots grow down. The stem grows up. Then the leaves unfurl. Most plants have these parts: roots, stem, and leaves. Many plants grow flowers. Some even grow fruits. We eat fruit and other plant parts too. Do you like bananas? A banana is a fruit from the banana tree. Have you ever eaten a carrot? A carrot is the root of a carrot plant. This bunny likes to eat plants too. People and animals need plants to live. But what do plants need to live? Plants need enough space to grow. The giant sequoia tree needs a lot of space. Plants need sunlight. Would a dark closet be a good place to grow a plant? No. But this sunny window is just right. Plants need water too. Sometimes they get water from rain. Sometimes people water them. Without water, a plant will dry up, turn brown, and die. Plants also need nutrients, which are like plant vitamins. Most plants suck up water and nutrients from the soil. Now that you know about plants, do you think you could take care of one? When you grow a plant, you make the world a greener place.
And so that's the end of our science lesson. I hope everyone has a great day, and these will be uploaded momentarily.